Yo, the toll is $2,350. Damn! Damn! Well, I mean, it worth it still because the road's super nice, you know? So you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah. Hi!
Hello.
I heard it. Oh. Okay. Yeah, here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Safe one.
Alright, thank you, you as well. Alright.
Okay.
Bless up. Let's go! So I wanted to tell you guys, be transparent about why I have been missing from the music industry for the last couple years. Guys, I've been going through it, okay? I've been going through it. Like, you ever went through a period of your life where it was just one thing after the next? It was one thing after the next, after the next, after the next. And yeah, at the last straw, I just had to kind of take a break, recalibrate, pay attention to my mental health, my physical health. I'm going to tell you about one incident that was super life-changing just because our community is a community full of wellness practitioners and vegetarians. So I need to tell you guys about this because I don't want what happened to me happen to you guys. It was in 2023. Long and short of the story, I came down with a B12 deficiency, a very bad B12 deficiency. All right, but I can break down all the details for you. So it was March, like mid-March. I woke up numb from the waist down, like can't feel my foot. I could have still walk, but not walk properly because I literally could not feel my muscles. You ever like sit down for too long and your foot drop to sleep? It's like that's what happened to me, but my foot just never wake up. It never woke up. So anyways, the first day was kind of like, ooh, okay, clearly got circulation problems. I don't know what's happening, but you know, I tried to soak up my foot in the tub. I slept with my foot up on some pillows. Okay, cool. Woke up the next day. The numbness was still there. And it actually had moved from my legs up to my waist. So I was like, no man, something wrong. When I tell you numb people, I could not feel to go to the bathroom. I could not feel, like I just can't feel to balance or walk properly. Like I was walking, but I could just feel my bones inside my leg. I don't know how to explain it. Anyways, so I was just like, no man, I gotta go to the doctor. Called my doctor, had to go to him the next day. At this point, I hear freaking out. He's telling me it's a possibility that I have multiple sclerosis. So I was like, Jesus, yeah? Or maybe I got inflammation on my spine. So I went to get an MRI. I got an MRI on my lumbar spine. Went back to him, results came back, couldn't find anything. Got an MRI on my thoracic spine, results came back, couldn't find anything. Then he recommended that I should go to a neurologist. I started to see a neurologist. She did her tests and she was thinking multiple sclerosis or some optica myelitis or something like that. So she ordered me to get a MRI on my optics and my skull. I can't remember what it was she called it, but it was 2. So bear in mind, people, this is MRI after MRI, money shelling out the place, you know. And they're saying, Lord G, like, yo, I don't have money for this. Like, so yeah. Yeah, anyways. So, yeah, man. So at that point in time, she put me on steroids because apparently, like, if you got autoimmune problems or inflammation, the steroids would help to slow it down or reduce it. So she was like, you know, go on these and, you know, go get the MRI. We're waiting for the results and then we can decide what to do from there. So bear in mind, guys, this is a whole 2 months of me getting tests back to back and just like waiting and I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. Like, it's one thing to be ill and you know what's going on, so you like on your journey to recovery, but it's the next thing to you just don't know what's going on. So like, yeah, I've been going through some stuff for the couple years, but this year I could not focus to go into the studio. I could not focus to write. The only thing I could focus on was the fact that I was losing my ability to walk, and I did not know what was happening. And during this time that I had no diagnosis, I was just getting weaker and weaker and weaker every day, just getting weaker, sleepier, can't walk up the stairs properly, can't even get out of the car. My mother flew down to help me with everything, and like we would just go walking. Like, I was very proactive with it, because I was just like, Jano, like, even though I don't know what's happening, I can't let it keep me down. I want to just try to walk and just keep it going so I could just like retrain my muscles, you know what I mean? So we would go to Emancipation Park. If we go into the supermarket, like we will walk to the supermarket, and at them times they like I would be fighting, you know, and then I just can't do it no more. Mommy had to hold my hand. Like, it was scary as hell. So I just had to take a break from the music. Then that was my last straw. You know, I really could not focus. Anyhow, so. And then that time too, the steroids mashing me up. If anybody out there who ever take steroids, know what steroids is do to your body. And me, I am a super naturalist, which ended up being to my detriment, because I didn't believe in supplements at all. Me, natural. Like, if I had headache, it's not no Panadol, nothing. I will bear that, breathe, do my pranayama, drink water. Like, I just don't like pills at all. So the thing is, when you take in steroids, it's the steroids, and then you gotta take something to coat the stomach, and then you gotta take another thing back of that. And trust me, people, I was out of whack. Like, my health was just dwindling at this point, because my body just wasn't used to anything like that, you know. Anyhow, so I was on that for like 3 weeks, waiting to get back the result, waiting to go back to her in that time period. Anyway, so at that time, my bestie, I don't know if she wants me to load her up here, but those who know me personally know who is my super close, my boo. She was telling her friend, who is a doctor, about what was happening to me, and her friend was like, no man, no, but tell Vanessa, call me. She's a mutual friend of ours as well, but like I know her through Jay. Let me call her Jay, you know. Love her to bits. She was like, call me man, call me, no, you know, she can be there and don't know what's happening, you know, why she don't test her blood, why she don't test this. So at that point, she sent me no, because at this point I got two opinions, still couldn't figure out what was going on. So I was just like, she came like a godsend. You know what I mean? Jay, if you're listening, you are a godsend. I love you so much. And P, if you're listening, you are a godsend. I love you so much. Like, words cannot begin to express how grateful I am for you taking me through this period of my life and helping me on my road to recovery. Yeah, I just had to say that before I go into it. Anyhow, so she told me, go and test your blood. She wants me to test for diabetes, and she wants me to test for B12. I went and got the test. Results came back. I was severely B12 deficient. No B12 in my system, and I also was insulin resistant. Right? The B12. I was a vegetarian now for, this is 13 years. I don't eat no fish, nothing, so I still eat dairy. But I don't eat no fish or meat or anything like that, so there's no real source for me. And I didn't take supplements, yeah? So yeah, let me break down the whole B12 deficiency. So B12 is responsible for the functioning of the nerves. There's a coating over the nerves called a myelin sheath, right? This coating is responsible for the communication of the brain to the nerves, right? If you have diabetes or if you have B12 deficiency, that myelin sheath deteriorates. And what happens when it deteriorates is that the brain cannot speak to the nerves. The nerves cannot speak to the body, I should say. Right? I'm not a doctor. I'm trying to explain this as best as I can. Right? So what was happening was, because I was B12 deficient, I developed something called neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy, which is the damaging of the nerves, of the sensory nerves. So they have two types of nerves, motory nerves and sensory nerves. And people who get into accidents, and they hurt a foot and, they damage a nerve, might know how it feels to damage a motory nerves. That means you really can't move the muscles. But the sensory nerves, no, you can't feel the muscles, right? So that's what happened to me. My sensory nerves were up, completely done up, yeah? Because my body was lacking in B12. Now, a lot of doctors believe that once a nerve is damaged, there is no way that it can come back. It can be, it can recover. People believe that from nerves damaged to damage, from that myelin sheath gone, that's it. Yeah? So that's what was happening to me. And when I started my journey of recovery, I did not even realize how many other symptoms I was actually facing because of the deficiency. And I did not even realize how long my body was telling me that I was deficient. So first I can tell you, when I backtrack in my mind to before the full, can't feel my legs, the symptoms that I was feeling, I was sleepy, memory wasn't so good, the truth is, I always had tingling in two of my toes. I always, the toes will always drop to sleep, but I don't know why I never paid no mind. I'm the type of person that I don't like to affirm illness. I don't like to affirm, something wrong, So sometimes I would just ignore things and just keep going. You know what I mean? So tingling in my toes, and my foot used to drop sleep often. That's the truth. My feet used to drop sleep often. If I sit down, just for 5 minutes, my foot used to drop sleep. But I don't know, I just never paid no mind. So that is what I can say I have been facing, but I wasn't really paying it any mind until that day when it was just completely gone. So look out for those symptoms. If you have those symptoms, people will even get tingling in the fingers or tingling in the feet, like pins and needles, or you find numbness in your body, go and check for your B12 levels. Yeah? And this is not something that's just susceptible to vegetarians alone, right? People who eat meat can also be B12 deficient just because their body just isn't absorbing the B12. And B12 is not in meat because chickens and fish naturally have B12. B12 is actually a bacteria that grows in our surroundings. But because we do not interact with the world in the same way how we used to back in the day, living closer to the soil, drinking natural water, stuff like that, we don't intake B12 how we would have had B12 back in the Neanderthal times. You know what I mean? So that's how animals take up B12, because they interact with the world in that way. So the bacteria is allowed to grow within them to produce this B12. So, yeah. So with my recovery now, she wanted me to start to eat meat again. But to be honest, guys, that was a choice that I made for my wellness, because I used to have issues like acne, sinuses, heartburn, stuff like that when I was younger. So that's why I made the decision when I was coming out of my teenage years. I want to stop eating meat and see how my body feels. And I felt so great doing that. And in my mind, I was just like, I don't want to go back to all of the things that I avoided in the first place when I stopped eating meat just for one thing, you know? So I was like, no, man, you know, I need to find a way to do this, like, as a vegetarian. But anyways, my recovery included, I had to give myself B12 injections every week in my leg. People wanted to stab up my leg, you know. Yo, big up to all the diabetics out there giving themselves injections, because that is not easy. My legs used to be sore. I had to do that for 9 months. Coming on to the end of the 9 months, it was like every other week. And I also had to do that on top of taking B12 supplements. I'm going to show you which supplements I take. When I get back down to Kingston, I can do a video showing you which supplements I take. And also, I started to include food that was fortified with B12. So for vegetarians, for veggie burgers and even like cereals and like Milo and stuff like that, those foods are fortified with B12. You just have to look at the back of the package and see what is fortified. I am going to go to the supermarket as well and show you guys which items have in B12 and which ones don't when I get back down to Kingston, yeah? So you can see. So yeah, so I had to give myself injections. I had to take my B12 supplements every day, which I still do now. And I also was put on another series of steroids. I just listened to what my doctor said. You know what I mean? Them know what I'm talking about. Zine? So, yeah. You see how chunky I get, people? The girl get chunky. You see me? Let me tell you, and this is another part of my journey right now too, because I am trying relentlessly to lose back all of this weight. Guys who know me before don't know that, yo, I was on my hot girl you get me? Like, not that I don't feel like a hot girl now, but you know, just that fit, you know what I mean? That fit vibe. Guys, right now, the steroids sent me over 200 pounds. And after they can't blame the steroids no more. I was so freaking depressed with everything that I was just eating and eating and eating and eating. Zine? So I need to take accountability as well. But yeah, wish me luck on my weight loss journey, because it's a big part of my career as well, and just me just feeling good, yeah? A part of my recovery as well, I actually did the Yoga Angels International Teacher Training Program, so that I could gain back strength in my legs and gain back balance. And that program was so phenomenal. Sabadra, big up yourself. I can put the link below this video if you guys are interested in it. And so it was just for about a year, it was just a very intense recovery to me, walking again. Well, let's just say walking properly. And just strengthening back my legs. Right? Nerves do not heal overnight. So if there's anybody out there going through a B12 deficiency right now, or just neuropathy for some other reason, or you were injured in an accident, nerves do not heal overnight. They can take a very long time to get better. Zine? It took me months before I even started to see the results from my recovery. And trust me, I just got to hold the faith. Like, throughout this entire journey, I it really strengthened my faith in God again. That's the truth. Like, I almost feel like this was supposed to happen because I was supposed to just rebuild that strong faith. Not that I ever lost the faith, but it wasn't as strong as it is now, yeah? I was in such a dark place that not even music could have pulled me out of. Zine? And music is my life. So, trust me. Thank you, God, for every single thing that you bestow upon me at every single lesson. And I had a lot of things too, personally to me, which I might share over time, which I had to learn throughout that entire period as well. With just being still, with even just slowing down. Like, sometimes we just go and go and go and go, and we don't take the time to check our health, yeah? Slowing down. As I tell you, before this happened, I was going through mental issues, right? Which maybe one day I will share, but, you know, some things you keep close to your heart, yeah? And trust me, I had to just, like, face everything. What? This man ain't driving? Hold up. People, the lights change for about 3 hours, then the man still ain't pull off yet? All right, not maybe 3 hours. Probably something wrong. Anyways. Yeah. Yeah, man. It was, yeah. I didn't feel like a baby again. You know, mommy, I love you so much, mom. Like, I don't know what I would do without my mother. Like, my mother was just there through everything. And, yeah. I'm so grateful that I could say this year, I feel like a fog has been lifted. I am creating again, ready to get back out there, ready to put my music back out there. You know, I feel like I've grown so much over that period of time. So that happened basically between 2023 and 2024. In 2024, it was basically just trying to get my life back together financially and just getting back stable again, yeah? And yeah, it took a bit longer than I expected, but if there's anything that I learned throughout the recovery was that you gotta take time, my girl. You can't rush. This is not in a rush something. It's not in a rush thing, you know? Right now, life is about quality, yeah? So you focus on the quality. In my 20s, I feel if I was focusing on quantity, you know, which I feel that is what 20s are about. Like, the 20s are about just trying so much different things in a short space of time because you figuring out what works and what doesn't. And I feel like the 30s now is acknowledging, or even like, not just acknowledging, but accepting which things really do work and which things don't. So it's a slower time, it's a time to really pace yourself and understand how to pace yourself without burning out. Because I was burning out. Like, I was pushing through the pandemic. In the pandemic, I had released my first album. In the pandemic, I was releasing videos, singles. Like, I was just like, yo, the world stop, and I need to get my, you know, go after my dreams. I can't stop, you know. And I didn't even realize how much stress I was taking on throughout the pandemic. That was a really stressful time. Guys, we need to admit that the pandemic was quite traumatic. It was a traumatic time. Yeah? Yeah, so it just happens that God was like, wait, hold on. You going hard. You need to relax yourself. So yeah, it's 2025 now. It's a new start. It's a new day. It's time to put my trauma and my emotions and my healing in my music. Yeah. So bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I have been going through a lot. But yeah, can't left out music at all. I want to give thanks to the people who just like checking on me. And though I might not have told everyone at the time, because if it's one thing I can't do is just be like, oh, well, I actually sick, this and this happened to me, like, I don't know, my foot ain't working, like, I think I'm losing my ability to walk, like, I don't understand. I want to say big up to everybody who has been checking in on me. People who just check in on me in general. Like, I might not have been forthcoming with what I was going through at the time because, like, I had to tell this, what was happening to me to so many people and just repeating it all the time. I just felt like I don't want to affirm this. Like, I don't want to affirm this, and I don't want to feel depressed about it all over again. You know what I mean? So I want big up to people who have just been like randomly checking in on me and just giving me words of encouragement. Like, V, I don't know what you're going through, but whatever you're going through, just know I'm here. Just know that, like, keep doing what you're doing. Like, you did great works before. Like, don't stop. And, them words of encouragement, like, you guys don't even know, like, what you were pulling me out of with those phone calls, So I need to say I am so grateful. Today, where I am at, I can feel my groin and my waist and stuff now, thank God, because guys, when you can't feel your groin, when you can't feel, and that was that. I wasn't pleased with that at all. I was just like, God, I'm going to bring forth children, but I would like to feel the conception, please. So so we're back up and running now. My legs, I could feel my legs again. It's just like from my shin to my feet, I still have a slight neuropathy. So it's difficult for me to walk over like textured surfaces. So like walking over rocks and stuff like that is very difficult for me. I still lose my balance. Sometimes, like, if I put in on slippers, I don't realize that the divider is not between the correct toes, like stuff like that. But I give in thanks. I give in thanks. The majority of my nerves came back. So I am very grateful for that. And who knows, maybe those other nerves that haven't come back, maybe I just need to like wait longer or try more things. But yeah, from the time I started taking the injections and stuff, my nerves didn't recover as quickly as I expected, but what did I felt immediately was just being sharp and not being so tired all the time. That definitely was a drastic change when I started with my supplements and with the injections. What else I tell you wanna know? So that was one thing I went through that I was just like, yeah man, I need to take some time away from music and just focus on this. Because guys, you don't know, music is something that's come from the soul, From your soul off, trust me, from your soul off, even if music comes through, from that, music from misalignment don't ever like heal the spirit in the same way. It's always in the back of your head like, I in a line right now, I don't like how this sound. You know what I mean? But when you in alignment, that is the kind of music you want to go out there, because that's the kind of music that will inspire healing in others, from it healing you, from it changing you positively. So it's so important for every musician to just be right within yourself first, because our instrument isn't outside of us. Well, actually, no musician's instrument is outside of them, because that coming from your soul. So your soul gotta be right. Yeah? Your soul gotta be right. That input has to be right so that the output is right. Yeah? So I would say that what I'm focusing on now is finding alignment. Yeah? Figuring out what everything meant for me spiritually. Even looking at a whole heap of other things that was going on as well at the same time. Like, what that mean for me spiritually and what I need to do within my spirit in order to let go of certain things, in order to heal from certain things, so that I can express myself in a way that is healing, you know? So yeah, that's the focus right now, people. Big up on the self. I feel like if I was talking non-stop and we soon reach Moby. Well, soon is relative. I feel like if I got 3 more hours to go. But I just wanted to come in and tell you guys what has been going on, that has been going on. At the end of this video, or maybe I do it in another video, I'm going to go to the supermarket. I can show you guys the supplements that I take. And yeah, go to the supermarket and show you B12 fortified foods that you can add to your... Yes, girl. The man block off the whole traffic, you know. What a gentleman. Anyways, yeah, and show you, yeah, what are the B12 fortified foods in the supermarket. I can tell you one thing that has in B12 naturally, which is nutritional yeast. And most vegetarians should know about nutritional yeast. Is like what we use to substitute for a cheesy taste outside of cheese, outside of vegetarian cheese. Nutritional yeast. So yeah, that is loaded with B12. Mushrooms having a little bit of B12, but it's not enough for you to function. And trust me, I'm not just saying this because you know, I believe in a pharmaceutical mumbo jumbo, because I don't. Yeah, I am fully into wellness. So I'm telling you straight up, and this is coming from somebody who did months of research of what was going on with my body. You need to take your supplements, and you need to look for B12 fortified foods and try to include that in your diet as much as possible, even as a meat eater, but especially for us vegetarians. Yeah? So yeah, man, I love you guys. I'm going to continue this trip. Birthday's tomorrow. Just giving thanks for life, and I can show you guys what I'm doing on my trip. You can post it at some point. But yeah, anyways, I gone because I hear rambling now. I think that is all that I needed to say. And I soon come back. Music soon come. Yeah, music soon drop. Love, wunna.